Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of the Mixtape Effect. Coming at you live out of the garage here. Caleb, welcome, man. Thanks for being here and starting this journey with me. We've talked about this for a little bit now, and it's finally coming to fruition. We're starting this up, and I think it's going to be exciting. But Caleb, real quick, I want to ask you, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. First off, I'm super excited, super nervous about doing this, but I think nothing would make this go a little smoother than an old fashioned. So I know that you haven't had one before. So that's kind of what I'm getting ready right now. Gonna make you a little drinky drink. That way
Yeah.
we can have a little tasty time. So yeah,
So you're right. I haven't had an old fashioned before. Maybe seen it on TV. People make it, and they say it's really good. Again, so what goes into an old fashioned? Because I'm super new to this. I don't know what I'm. Usually, I'll mix my alcohol with something either fruity or some soda if I have any. But what goes into an old fashioned?
yeah. So I mean, it's definitely varies. How I typically make my old fashions. Obviously, we have to have some good whiskey. And then I have some sugar. We're going to do a small amount of sugar. I cannot get this peel to go into a cute little circle. And then I thought just because you like your fruity juices, I typically just do like regular bitters, but I am gonna try out some Angostura orange bitters. So we're going citrus mistress all the way on this bad boy.
Citrus Mistress. Yo. All right. So, why sugar? Why do we put what is the sugar and the orange peel? What does that do? Yeah, you're struggling over there
I
right
am
now.
having the hardest time of my life today. I don't know. It just you. I don't really know like the science behind it, but it just makes it taste better. And I feel like I'm running through the old Wild West when I when I drink what is whatever. But yeah, I should definitely do some more research as to the why every article of the juice is added into it though. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, always interesting. I see people make it have made it different ways. The bitters, I'm not sure. I guess that is that just to get additional flavor out of the out of the orange peel, or
I think so.
I guess yeah.
I don't know
I don't
though.
know. It's be interesting. Anyways, I'm gonna try it for the first time. I haven't, like I said, I haven't had it. A couple dashes of bitters there. We are using some whiskey. It is a actually we just bought it the other day, the other week, and it was actually surprisingly good. It was Proper 12, and not advertisement whatsoever, but I think it is surprisingly pretty good.
Yeah, this isn't sponsored.
It's not sponsored, but if you're ever watching, Connor,
If we ever make it there.
you know won't be mad.
So
Um,
Ray
Go
Ray,
ahead.
real quick, what are we doing today?
Yeah. So we decided to create a podcast again. We had one in the past, but creating one, we wanted to talk about conspiracy theories around the world. We wanted to talk about ghost stories. We wanted to talk about kind of maybe the Illuminati, some missing children stories, some things that just like can captivate an audience, and everyone is into this. I know the second like a Netflix show comes on how to commit murder or how to get away with murder, I know everybody watches that stuff, and so I think it's going to be pretty neat to be able to go in and talk about some things like that, and really just kind of learn new things about things that happen around the world that maybe don't get. the recognition that it should. So I'm excited for it. That's why we called it the mixtape effect. I think that there are some things that don't get shared around the world that we need to bring light to, and I'm excited to talk about it.
I think that this one, I'm super excited for that, but I also think that this is not a teaspoon. This is a lot of sugar.
Yes.
So,
So my first old fashioned may not be an actual old fashioned
oh my
per
gosh.
se. I assume so. Here's what I always did. My mom used to take, so everyone had like the big spoons and the little spoons. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
had the big spoons and the little spoons. I was like the big spoon is like the tablespoon, the little one's like the teaspoon. So anytime people are like, "Hey, give me this teaspoon of this or whatever," you just get the little spoon and put it in the thing. You don't do that?
No, actually,
No.
I always thought
All right.
that they were for eating properly, which I still have yet to learn how to do. So it's on a bucket list. But yeah, I didn't even actually think about that. The old people didn't really didn't really measure with things. They just kind of
No.
eyeballed it. And I wonder if that
Yeah.
has some correlation because you see those TikToks where they have these weird life hacks that literally don't like you don't even think about. And
Yeah.
huh, I wonder. I'm gonna
Right.
jump on over. I'll bring this to you, man. I'm excited to hear you, how you taste it.
All right. I don't. Yeah, and I don't. All right. I don't know if this is gonna be uh an actual old fashioned, but I'm still excited and I will try it. If I don't like it, doesn't it doesn't smell terrible. You can definitely smell the bitters. Is that the bitters I'm smelling?
Yeah,
Is it now? What am I getting prepared for? Am I? Is this shots? What is this?
I think I added more sugar to yours than mine. Yours actually might be better, if I'm being completely honest. Mine's like,
Okay, here we go. First time with an old fashioned. Oh, you even put the orange peel in there.
hey,
I've
I give you the
I've
good one.
I feel like before I try this, I should light up a cigar.
Yeah,
Do you think that should be? Is that? Do we do that before, just so we can? Because I feel like if you're gonna drink an old fashioned, you got to have a
yeah, there
cigar.
has to be a certain
So
mustache curl to it.
yeah, so you guys, we're still new here with cigars, so just bear with me, and we'll get this show on the road. But Caleb, talking about the first episode here today, we'll be discussing some kind of hidden things about Chernobyl and kind of what happened and what we may think really happened or the main cause behind it or this was kind of like it's almost like a breeding ground for conspiracy theories on how this all played out. So I'm excited to kind of talk to you about it and start to learn a little bit more than when we first started talking. So what do we got? What do you have in front of you, and what are some of the things that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so actually, I really when I was looking around, digging into like conspiracies and stuff with Chernobyl, there was a lot that I had not really even realized. Like I personally didn't even realize that there were so many freaking conspiracies. I thought it was just a reactor meltdown and it was a lot of heartbreak, a lot of loss, and just like it was a big deal. But I happened upon this neat little conspiracy that I didn't even know existed, and so I'm just really excited to kind of read it out for you, and see if what your thoughts are, Ray, Ray, because it could be, it really could be.
Let's hear it. I'm excited.
Okay. So 1976, there was like towards the latter half of the 70s into the 80s. Um, Everybody in the surrounding areas, and not even just surrounding, it was just like all around the globe, started hearing the really like obnoxious, loud radio signals.
Okay.
And so the signals were actually strong enough to gather complaints from these other neighboring countries and what have you. And so after they researched where it came from, they deduced that it was from the Iron Curtain. And upon further review, it was actually dubbed the Russian woodpecker. So, what do you think this is gonna be, bro?
The
It's called the Russian woodpecker.
the Russian woodpecker.
Yeah.
Huh. So I don't see with that. I don't. So they named it. What? So what is it? What kind of bird is it? Is it a bird?
Nope, not at all. So the Russian woodpecker is the signal was assumed to be it, so is the signal itself was the Russian woodpecker. I don't know if you've ever listened to a woodpecker in the real natural world, but
I have heard one once or
they're
twice.
really loud. They're really aggressive
Super loud.
sounding, and it's just like really kind of uncomfortable to hear. And so I think that is kind of why that this radio signal was dubbed that.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
um, okay, where was I? Let's see. Uh,
So was this like a woodpecker that was extremely, no, not a woodpecker, but the Russian woodpecker, which seems to me it could be fucking any.
no, yeah. So it's no. So so it's the radio signal. So the radio signal was dubbed the Russian woodpecker, and so leading up to the events of Chernobyl, the location of this military radio base that was broadcasting this signal was so incredibly classified that it was marked as a children's summer camp. So if you looked on a map or anything like that, you would see just like a child's summer camp, and that's where this signal was originating from. Um, but the disaster that left the okay, I guess sorry, backpedal. So the actual facility was not by any stretch of the imagination a little kid's summer camp. The structure, the facility was actually known as Duga 3. Duga 3? The du- You've heard of Duga 3? Okay. Okay. So, got my ads going. Um so um how the disaster of the reactor melting down left that compound abandoned in the exclusion zone, as well as and all of like the surrounding area. So exclusion zone being the I think it's like 11 or 12-mile radius around the reactor. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where like the fallout is at its worst. Um, so now, I mean, and believe it or not, in modern history, it's actually a tourist trap, which is so just like crazy to think about that at one point it was so irradiated that nothing could live there. But anyway, so geez, I keep losing my spot. Oh, it's a not a tourist trap. It's my notes are all scuffled. It's a tourist and conspiracy theorist destination, and I thought we're doing one of those, so this would be a great opportunity. So. Theorists wonder if the base was really just another Soviet structure abandoned in the wake of the disaster, or if it was actually the root of the tragedy itself. And so that's kind of where the conspiracy comes into play. They take it into a really just like far out like thought where it was actually so the radio signal, all of this stuff was it was like a $7 billion project turned out to be a flop. And to prevent, you know, the government for looking dumb or anything of that nature when it comes to just like the disgrace of the project not working, they actually used the reactor that was nearby as intentionally melting it down to kind of wipe away that smear of the failed project. And so yeah, that's kind of what it is in a nutshell, that the reactor didn't melt down because of accidental critical fission. It was melted down intentionally and covered up so that they could remove any record of this project that didn't succeed uh, miles away. And so, if you guys haven't seen it, there's an awesome documentary. It came out in 2015 about it on shoot, I can't remember what social media it is, but it's absolutely a wonderful watch, and I think it's so fascinating just to think about. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Hey, buddy. Sorry to interrupt you. I can't hear you. Uh-uh. Interesting. Sorry about that. Is it me? We're hammering out all the kinks. Yeah. Bro, actually, but like circling back to those chickens. Sorry to interrupt. I think that that is realistic. I don't know if y'all have ever played Legend of Zelda, but if you ever just like go to any town whatsoever and heckle any of the chickens, they become like the most violent little last bosses of any sort of video game. I tell you what, bro. just like, just on a list, like no, yes, they are. That's why. Pause. Circle it back. Foxes are always trying to mess with chickens. That's why you get the guard dogs on farms. So the chickens evolved and utilized this natural disaster to then seek out revenge on the foxes and all their past freaking. That's how that happened. Yeah, yeah, 100%. I would put money to that. That they can't fly, but they also probably can't forget, and they be holding grudges for their entire ancestors' lineage. So yes, yes. Ooh, talk to me. Yeah, I actually that's something that's like really fascinated me, and something I've always been really interested in. It's just like the effects of radiation on natural fauna, and I think that that is just like so crazy. Because I remember reading about that, like just like normal non big boy mushrooms getting the size of like small animals, which is just like completely blows my mind.
Quickly, you're still able to hear me or not, but
No,
quickly,
I can hear you now. Yeah.
it's going, yeah, going back and forth, which is really weird. I'm getting notifications here on my screen, but they always talk about supernatural effects from Chernobyl, alien cleanup, which is really strange to think about that aliens had something to do with Chernobyl. Um, they said there was a rumor out there or a conspiracy out there saying that shortly before and after there was multiple UFO sightings above the explosion site.
Hmm.
Didn't know
Interesting.
how. Yeah, don't know how that got overlooked, but multiple
just
sources.
like just like everything else that's fucking relevant.
Yeah, like, but again, what would aliens benefit from blowing up a specific area? Unless they are using now that because I don't know Is Chernobyl? Is it still? Are people still living there? I heard that there was like a very small amount of people that still reside there, even though there's still radiation that
That's an
is in
excellent
the air.
question. Let me seek the Oracle and see if we have an answer for that.
I just thought that was kind of interesting that if there's
Yeah.
still people there, are they? I mean, they have to have some sort of radiation poisoning,
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
which is really weird. I just don't know why they would. Why would they want to be there?
It's their home, like
But if your home, bro, if your fucking home had mass amounts of radiation poisoning, you would leave, or could you leave? I guess that would be their next question. Do they have? Would they have the ability to just leave?
I don't now that you like bring that up, I don't think so. Because wouldn't
Yeah.
you want to contain any sort of contamination? So then by
You,
default, by to contain it, they would have to live out their lives there, which is sad. That can't be true.
yeah. There's also a conspiracy out there saying that the Soviet government planned Chernobyl as an experiment um, to observe the effects of radiation.
I believe it. I believe that one for sure, 100%.
That's just it's just there seemed to be no fear or no feat too daring for the KGB to try during the Cold War. So even if it meant thousands of deaths, which is weird because they said only like 30 to 50 people died during that whole nuclear disaster. Like, do you believe 30 people died? It had to me, you're looking at one of the wildest explosions of in human history, and only 30 people died.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like on maybe they're like only referring to like the initial like meltdown, because there's no way the whole town there's thousands of people that lived in that
Thousands of
town.
people, thousands. And if it was only 31 people, like maybe it was only 30 people or 30 some odd people that died during the initial explosion. But why would they calculate that? Why wouldn't they calculate everybody,
All the
like
others.
all of the deaths?
Maybe
Or
like
was it so many
downplay
they
it.
couldn't?
Maybe downplay it. I don't know. I feel bad.
Who's
I'll show you my
downplaying it?
phone. I don't have a computer, so I apologize. I'm looking. I want to like look these up and get these answers because very much
It's a
curious.
yeah, it's just super interesting. Like Russia and Ukraine, Russia's always wanted to invade Ukraine a multitude of times. Are they trying to? Is it like deliberate genocide? Like, what is? Are for what is? Are they trying to? I mean, obviously political bullshit. Um, I just they're holding information that someone's saying. I'm reading as in the case of the Soviet Western competition holding power over the information, the opponents of Ukraine nationalists did not hesitate to use conspiracy theories for their political purpose. When a Ukrainian environmental activist Yuri Sherbak ran for a seat in Congress of the People's Deputies Party backed candidates accused him of being both a Ukrainian nationalist and a Zionist. Um, I think there's so much involved, but I think when you brought up earlier was like there was a big financial flop with this,
Yeah.
and so I think they covered it up by blowing up that plant. But there's so many weird different conspiracies, and bro, still to this day, there's people that have fucking wild mutations that are still unexplainable other than they're using radiation. But it's crazy because when we spoke about how um, how animals
How
were
it
totally
affects humans.
fine,
Yeah.
but it's like the mom and the dad of say we'll just use a dog because that's what we watched of fucking had a baby. The babies were completely fine. They were healthy for the most part. They had slight bits of radiation, right? And then they were totally they looked like purebred papered AKC registered dogs. Like we were watching some of the dogs that were fucking in
Bro,
this
they're some
area.
of the most beautiful animals I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm a cats person. I'm gonna get that out there right now. So if you guys are not cats people, it's cool. I get it. But I just want you to know,
I
cats.
I'm a
I've
cat
never
person.
seen a of such beautiful dogs. I was just like, I will keep you, all of you. You're mine now. Those are my doggies. So
You
they were
are
really
mine.
just like gorgeous animals.
Yeah.
And then to just like find out that the life expectancy is so low, just like blows me out of the water. Like I still think about
But it's
that.
crazy how the only reason their life expectancy is so low is because of poor care in Ukraine, not because
Is it poor care or so it isn't even being irradiated? It's just like good looking stray dogs.
yeah. Now my cigar's like needs to be relit because I didn't.
You know
I
what?
just
You
left
know
it
what
there.
we need to do? We need to make a
What's up?
little island someplace. I don't care where it's at, honestly. But we need to make an island similar to the that little island in Japan that is overrun by cats. Have you ever heard of that before?
Cats?
Yeah,
No.
bro. There's this island. Shoot, I can't remember what coast. But this island is completely inhabited by cats, wild cats. People don't live there. Like everybody left for reasons unbeknownst to me. But
Interesting.
there's over like 10,000 cats that live on this island, and you can go visit it. You can go there. You can
Hmm.
get like large bags of food, and you just feed cats all day long. I think it's just like that's awesome. That's so cool.
Can you adopt them, or are they like no? These are cats that are. Because there's like Pig Island, right, where there's just a bunch of pigs where people go and fucking do that.
What?
But there's a Cat Island too.
There's Pig Island.
Yeah, bro, it's Pig Island that they literally go and take fucking people go with their families and the pigs are in like they just hang out by the water and you just fucking pet and play with pigs all day.
What? No way. That's kind of
Yeah,
cool.
I
Is it
don't,
new?
I don't think so. Like it's fucking. Let me see.
We got Komodo Island, which has got the big danger
Like
badge.
different fucking islands for
Oh
animals.
wait, wait.
Let me look up Cat Island here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where's Cat? I'm gonna see where.
Japan. Yeah.
Holy fuck! What the hell is this? Really? Oh, it's in Japan.
Yeah, yeah.
It costs $480. Includes an ATV, jet skis, banana boats, snorkeling, pole tubes, food, and drinks.
It's like a whole like tourist trap now. You could literally just like go boat with the kiddies.
It's in where the fuck is it? It's Japan's Cat Island. It's in Aoshima, a Japan cat island. It's in the Bahamas.
What?
What is it? Three? Oh, there's multiple cat islands. There's not just one. There is a few different cat
You're telling me on a day
top
that
three
is
cat
not my
islands.
birthday that there's not one, but three? There's a top three list?
Bro, I'm gonna show you right now. Let's look. So right here. So this is top three cat islands in Japan. In Japan, there is number one Aoshima.
No way.
Might be the most famous cat island in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah, that's the one I heard.
Nicknamed the Cat Island.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Aoshima is a 1.6 kilometer long island located in the pardon I can't I'm going to butcher this Ehime prefecture of southern Japan. Cats were originally introduced on ships because the fishermen had to deal with a rodent problem, but then the cats remained on the island to reproduce, thus increasing the overall cat population. So these are just
What
cats
do you, what are the other ones? I didn't even know.
that continuously just breed, and there's no deformity. I mean, there must not be, or maybe there is deformity in cat breeding, like when they breed
Well,
with.
that's how you get purebreds, right? So like a purebred, like a I don't know. We'll take Tucker for example. I'm sure he's got a deformity.
Guys, Tucker is my piece of shit mini Chihuahua Terrier who
Yeah,
is
there's got to be
somehow
like some sort of
still around.
repercussions, right? I don't know
You
actually.
would think so.
Yeah.
It's not a tourist spot. This is not a tourist spot. There are no cars, hotels, restaurants, or even a vending machine on the island. Residents there are mostly elders. They won't turn away the visitors who want to get close to the cats, but make sure not to disturb the residents if you visit the island. and you're not allowed to feed the cats because they are fed by the residents every day. Like how you're
Yeah,
you're
it's like
bringing
one
up
of
the cigar. I appreciate that. Make me now. I don't feel like I'm not alone.
it's like one of my favorite. Yeah, got you, bro. It's one of my favorite things when I learned about this island. It's just like this nice elderly woman just carrying like an absolute unit of a Santa sack over her shoulder, and
Fucking-
it's literally full of cat food. And I was like, this is the only thing that matters in this world.
okay. So how could you not love that sweet face? See, we have a couple cats, so I'm not mad. I like this, but I didn't know that there was more than one.
Neither did I, honestly.
So it looks like you have flight details. Number two is the Tashiro Island, another famous cat island in Japan. So Japan is known
Cat centric.
obviously for cats. Okay. It is believed by the local people who have been doing fishery for years. So this looks like these islands came to be because fishermen in Japan were running into a rodent problem. So they ended up getting a shit ton of cats, and then the cats were just started breeding, and they were just like, "Fuck it, they're just gonna overrun it."
Yep, and that's why I'm still. That I mean, it's a goal of mine. Obviously, if you hadn't known already, I'm going there. I am gonna sneak
This
in.
is on your travel plans.
Yeah, it's a bucket list. I'm gonna feed those cats, even though they told me not to.
They're gonna run you off the island. Most people.
Did you say it's catastrophic if I fed them? Stupid.
It is also believed by the local people who have been doing fishery for years that feeding cats will bring wealth and good fortune. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's why they have the
So you feed
Menaki.
stray cats, it's good fortune.
Well, they have Maneki Neko, that little cat statue with holding a little gold coin. Yeah, there's
Oh, I know that. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
multiple different like I guess like from what I was I don't beat me up in the comments if this is inaccurate, but to what I was led to believe, if Maneki Neko is holding the coin in his left hand, it's supposed to bring good fortune financially. If he's holding it his right hand, the coin in his right hand, then it's supposed to bring like good health. And I cannot remember what it meant if he's holding up both hands. But yeah, cats, Maneki Neko. That's the freaking goat,
Neki
man.
Neko. Okay. Let's see. You take a 40-minute cruise over Ishinomaki. Did I say that right? If you guys didn't know, Caleb knows a little bit more Japan than I do. I'm not as cultured as my guy Caleb over here, so he's been studying the language. So if I butcher that, Caleb, I'm sorry, but that's what I got. Ishinomaki.
Yeah,
That's what I got.
that's yeah. Call him the butcher.
All right. Compared to the Oshima Island, to Shirojima, and Oshima, whew, is destination is much easier to access for all the cat lovers out there. It's a small offshore island located in the southwest of Tokyo, and is the closest cat island near Tokyo. You know, it was funny if that's true. I didn't know that, but I was in Japan a for when I was in the military, and I was about an hour north of Tokyo, and so I actually wasn't too far from Cat Island. If I knew about it back then, I might have fucked around and went there.
Bro, I am a big disappointment that you were so close. I didn't take advantage of that.
And didn't know. I didn't even know Cat Islands existed. So that's fine. It's also a popular leisure spot for surfing, sunbathing, and swimming in summer. When the weather is fine, you might be able to see Mount Fuji from there. A cat population has increased since 1980. Originally, most of the cats were left abandoned here,
Yeah, how many
but
cats?
how many cats?
Give me the
I don't.
deets. Tell me the sitch. Who's the perp?
I wouldn't even see. I don't even. I wouldn't even know. I would say there's more cats than humans.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be
I would
wild?
say. Yeah,
If the cats were more populated than human, like could they take over that fucking island?
they already have, bro.
I mean, yeah, isn't that crazy? Little islands. Oh, there's package stores that you can go to. Top three. Well, they're just cats everywhere. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that
Well, okay,
that's just
so we know we're
crazy?
supposed to be doing conspiracies and stuff, but let's just like unpack this. So we
Yeah.
have a bunch of dogs. Sorry to switch gears on you. I could talk about cats all day.
Do it.
So we have a bunch of dogs that are perfect in every way, shape, or form except for habitants. What would we name the island that we move all these theoretical dogs to?
Are you saying we would create a dog island?
Hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's already one there.
Is there
You
really
know,
Dog Island?
I don't know. We'll find out. But this is what's crazy. Here's the Pig Island.
That's just
This is in the
crazy.
Bahamas.
I like can't get past that.
There's a
They
bunch
just
of
have
pigs
they
in the
just
water,
have no natural predators, so that you just literally would go there and they'd be the friendliest little oink.
swimming of the pigs.
You know, actually, what this reminds me of though, this like has like mad Lord of the Flies vibes. When I think about a giant boar
Ah,
on a tropical island, that's all I could think about. Like one day I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be lost to this abandoned island, and there's just a giant pig trying to kill me.
yeah, yeah.
I,
It's
I don't know.
fucking eating your toes, bro.
I feel like pigs have alternative motives, man. I swear.
Fuck,
Like,
pigs can. I mean, they chew bones. They chew like everything. Going through side mission here. Fucking pigs are used to like get rid of dispose of bones and everything.
that's
So
crazy.
wouldn't I mean?
They're scary, bro. Have you seen
Just
Pac-Man?
saying,
That
man.
like that little like pack mentality that they have. Like one or two. Like what are those called? Boar. Boar's a pig, right?
Bro, yeah, there is, bro, there is a dog island in Florida.
Stop, bro. Let's go.
Is this just maybe it's not an actual dog island? Maybe it's just what they
It's
call
just
a dog island.
like a giant dog park, but it's like on an island.
That would be super interesting if there was. But you got to think if they're, and here's a thought, right? If you had a bunch of dogs from Chernobyl, because again, from everything they say, is that the dogs live a pretty normal life for about a year to 3 years, and then have died off because of
It's like big sad, honestly.
malnutrition and lack of care.
It's big sad.
But I wonder, and maybe this is something we look up. I wonder if if people have taken dogs from Chernobyl, or even if it's allowed,
Yeah, like and just like they've lived out a good life. Like go there, because I know that they have all those.
or do they live for longer
Yeah,
than a
because they
normal
have all of
dog?
those reliefs. And fun fact, I don't know if you knew this, but on those sort of relief missions, the people that are doing it have to change their outfits every year because the dogs learn who they are and try and avoid them because they'll try and bring them out of the little Chernobyl area.
Yeah.
But I just think it's so funny that this like organization designed to help and just like control the dog population ultimately has become such a threat to these like higher intelligent dogs that they have to change their outfit. Like they have to rebrand and recolor their whole entire thing every single year because the dogs remember them. I just think it's the funniest shit. It's so funny to me.
That's what's fucking insane, bro. Because you can adopt dogs from Chernobyl. Some are now being adopted and brought to the United States.
What's that process look like? I might get a dog from there. How cool would that be?
My dog's from fucking Chernobyl.
Yeah, I'd name him Constantinople.
Constantinople from Chernobyl.
Hmm.
That's all you get. In 1986, and you haven't seen, if you guys can't see him, I have my dog right behind. He's a little border collie German Shepherd, and he's sleeping right now, so you can see him here. In 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear reactor in Ukraine exploded, sending radioactive material spewing into the sky. Authorities evacuated everyone within 19 miles, but were forced to leave their pets behind. The Soviet government sent in military to kill the dogs, but some survived. How did that look?
Ew, that's sad.
A bunch of Soviet government officials sent their fucking military to go in and kill all of these dogs. For
Well,
what
okay,
reason?
so like, yes, that's very sad, but we also got to think about this, like, what kind of life would those initial dogs have lived? I guess they lived a great one because here we are, here we are in the 2000s, and they're freaking thriving. But
Exactly.
still,
But I wonder what was their mindset? Was that they're going to spread this radiation, or are they
and I mean, and they probably would have.
overpopulate?
No, not even that. Just like dogs can. So the dog, the animals, not just dogs. Sorry, the critters would become highly irradiated,
Yeah.
and as they would move around, like say they defecated or something in an uncontaminated zone, well, that soil is now corrupt where it's at,
Correct.
and it
Uh,
spreads. And so I get it, but I hate it.
it's interesting. It looks like I'm not worried about the radioactivity. You turn off the lights, you're not going to glow in the dark. It would be some fucked up shit if they did, though.
Could you imagine?
It just you have Constantinople from Chernobyl. Turn off the lights. Say, hey, let's see a fucking party trick, and let's and watch your dog glow in the dark.
Also, doesn't uranium not actually glow in the dark like they said it does? Like you see on like cartoons and
Doesn't.
stuff. Only what is it? I think only cobalt is the one that does. It's like a faint blue.
Interesting. Yeah, we were. I was talking to you the other day about cobalt. How fucked up it
Yeah,
is.
let's run me through that again. That was wild.
So cobalt is one of the primary metals that we use to develop that cell phone that you have in your hand, Teslas, other vehicles, fucking computers, any electrical item that we use on a daily basis is being farmed. We're farming cobalt to build these things. Tesla, Apple, Samsung, any of these. It's not just them. I don't want to say it's just them. It's everybody. Everybody that uses.
Everything
Uh,
battery and
everybody battery operated has cobalt in it.
yeah.
And so they've made it. These companies have made multiple claims about not having cobalt or using cobalt and then not having slave labor. There's a place in the Congo that has more um, cobalt than every place on the earth combined. It's massive. It's the main area where they do all of their farming of cobalt. They're using child labor, they're using slave labor, they're getting put in harsh conditions. These mines that they're mining cobalt out of are collapsing. People are dying at alarming rates, and they're just throwing. Bro, there are thousands of people. Let me pull up a picture.
Again, also speculation. This isn't our standpoint, but like
Yeah.
based off of what we have found, like this sounds pretty fired up.
It's crazy because they've come out and they say they don't support
Yeah,
slave labor and all this shit, which we shouldn't.
good for you. Yeah, good on you.
But look at this. This is crazy, bro. These are modern day cobalt slavery in the Congo. Look at these working conditions. Crazy. And for everybody
People are in.
that sees this, it's crazy. It's just when you look at these images of slave labor and the working conditions. Like, these kids got no damn shoes or fucking flip flops. You know what I mean? Mining cobalt for everybody to use in their cell phones in their cars. Look at this mining camp. Like, look at this. This is insane that what they talk about. And for decades now, they've been going through and talking about how they're not using slave labor for mining cobalt. But here's the crazy thing, bro. Here's the crazy thing, is that a significant we don't have another option
For what?
to use in our devices, in our cars, in our electronics. We have to use cobalt. They haven't figured out a different way, a different material to use in place of cobalt. So we have to get it somehow. So how do we get it
Well, what?
without?
So, hang on now. So, what is cobalt used for in our mobile devices and vehicles? Are you sure it's cobalt?
Yeah.
Damn. What? So, what is the main? Because like what I'm thinking, I'm a firm believer in the nuclear option. Smite me if you must, but
So cobalt is used to make airbags and automobiles, catalysts to the petroleum and chemical industries, cemented carbides, hard metals, diamond tools, corrosion. I mean,
oh
it's
yeah,
used
yeah,
for
you're
fucking
right, you're right.
everything.
Yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right.
Um,
My bad.
Cobalt is used for many alloys, super alloys, gas turbines, aircraft engines, corrosion resistant alloys, high speed metals, recording media, catalysts. I mean, there's like everything.
And
We use
then
cobalt
yeah,
in fucking everything. But how do we use? We can't use as of right now. They haven't figured out a way to use anything differently.
bro. Hang on, pause. What's that? That doesn't look like an old fashioned. What are you drinking, bro?
It is too. I put
You
soda in
put
it.
Coke in it, bro.
It was too strong.
Sin.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh my. Sorry, like this is a deep topic, but bro, come on now. Let me know. Add some more sugar.
Not a fan. I don't. I just not a fan.
Really?
I gotta have flavor. It doesn't have flavor. Like I taste the orange bitter a little bit, but yeah. No,
I
I
would
tried.
add more for you, bro. Oh my gosh, my heart, my heart has been crushed, bro. No,
Sorry,
you're right.
guys.
I would say on a scale from one to really good, probably not the best old fashioned that I've made. So,
No, it's okay. I'd say it's my first time. It may take some time for me to get used to it. Um, it wasn't bad. I want to be able to drink it, and I couldn't enjoy it. So sorry. I had to put Coke in it. Sorry, guys. Sorry, chat.
oh, you like, it hurts. It's
Yeah,
fine.
sorry. I tried.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, continue.
So I mean, it's just everything that Cobalt is used in. It's just we use it every day, every single day. So the crazy thing is like, how much would it cost these multi-million-dollar companies, some billion-dollar companies, to go through and use some sort of substitute for Cobalt? Like I don't like what would we use, and two, if we can't use something different, what are we going to do? Could we increase? Could we increase our safety there? Can we give them shelter?
Well,
Can we give
my
them?
question, my question, honestly, like first right out the gate, yes, that needs to be a top priority. Like we need to pay these guys fair wages. If they're
Yeah, bro.
pulling,
We pay them. I'm sure we pay them
yeah,
just
no. So
dog shit.
right off the top, I think that if this is like such a valuable resource, that needs to be topmost priority. We need to take care of our people. That's something I believe in, and that's something that needs to be done. Secondly, I've always been curious if they could make like an analog to cobalt, or just kind of remove it altogether. Because I also had no idea how used cobalt was, and so
Bro, they make. Let me just put this in perspective here. They use XAF as their currency.
what does
So
that do
the
for US?
the average salary is 30,930 30 XAF a year.
What is
That's
XAF?
that's Ford at Central African
Like
franc.
rupees or I guess
And that's
not.
franc. It's a franc. I don't, that's what
Franc,
they.
yeah.
It's $49.
Like, bro, these corporations, like, how much are you making off of that?
It's like
That's
two
not
dollars. It's like
how.
$2 per day.
God, man, that blows my freaking mind.
So imagine a $2 a day wage.
But
And
it's not like a normal $2 a day wage where you wake up and then you clock out. It's
bro,
like
you work like 12,
you work
14,
12,
16 hours a
12
day.
hours a day and you're busting ass. It's not fair. I think that there's a lot of things that need to be readjusted. Personally, when I go for president, I'm not as old. I'm not old enough yet to go for president. When I do,
You have to be
that's
what, 35, right?
yeah. I'm getting there,
Well,
but
you have to, I think you just have to be an American citizen for at least 35 years, right? I think
mhm.
that's the number.
Even still, I haven't done that yet. Unless you get like bonus points for bicentennial years or something like that. I don't know.
I don't, I don't think you do. Bro, I think of it this way, bro. There's about a million. They said they got about a million people in the DRC mining cobalt.
Where
DRC
are the
being
best, like the biggest,
Democratic
like
Congo.
cobalt spots? I know you said that, but I think I forgot.
In the Congo.
Freaking Congo, man.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, there's about a million, and if they're all making $2 a day, let's say maybe we'll like average out and say maybe $4 a day, maybe double it,
That's $4 million
right?
a day for
$4 million a day. How many? I would be interested to see how many cell phones get sold a day. How many cell phones?
not even that. Like how many cars? Because it's
How many
using
cars get sold
airbags.
a day?
Yeah.
Cars get get sold in a day. What do you think the answer is? How many
I'm
cars
gonna
get bought
say,
in a day?
ooh, um, we'll say 10,000.
I'm looking this up. Hold on.
No, that's like big. That's like a lot of cars. There's no way. We'll say like 5,000 cars a day.
46,000, like 575 cars get sold every day.
What? Oh my, bro,
So then
that's
you look at it,
nothing. Yeah.
the average car price in 2022, roughly about
No,
$48,000.
just do the average car price over the last, fuck, I don't know. We'll say, when did airbags get invented? Let's start at the beginning. When did airbags get invented?
When were airbags invented?
Yeah, categorical.
I'm gonna say it's been a minute. 1952.
Okay, so in the last, what is that, 80 years?
71 years.
What is the average car price over the course of the last 70 years?
It's about 40 over the last 70 years. Average car price since when? Since 1958?
Yeah.
27 27,000.
Okay. Per car.
Yeah,
How many, on average, how many cars are sold a year?
it was like 46,000. So you get 46,000 like 575.
Okay, 46,000. So we'll say 47,000 times 27,000.
Let's see. Was it you said 40? Was that 47,000?
47 times 27. Yeah. We'll round. We'll round
27,000.
up.
That is 1.269 billion dollars. So we'll say 1.3 billion.
So they're marginally making a profit. Like that's fucked, and that's just cars. That's so just like fucked. I have nothing to say.
1.3 billion dollars.
and they spend on average 2 million a year.
Let's say 4 million. So we give them a little bit. $4 million a year on the mining of cobalt,
Yeah,
and they make $1.3 billion. Big number.
it's big. Yeah, it's big money. I don't know. It's just one of those things.
The rich get richer.
Chill.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just crazy the amount of money these guys be making.
them 1%ers, bro. How do I get there? Just kidding. It's so fucked.
How do how do I get there? How do I get there? It's fucked.
Let me 1%.
Isn't that crazy though, bro? The amount of money these guys make is just silly, and the amount of work they do, like the type of work that we do, and the money that we
Yeah,
make comparatively to what these guys do is just absolutely insane.
egregious. Honestly.
So it's wild, but we're gonna continue. You know, this is the first podcast. It didn't go completely smooth. I think there are things that we need to fix,
Yeah.
which we're gonna work on. Um, I think this is just a great start. I think we're looking forward to some more things, and I think just being able to communicate and have these just conversations about just crazy shit that goes on in the world
Yeah.
is fun to do in general. So I don't know about you, Caleb, but it's always fun to just sit down and chat and talk. We're gonna have continuous episodes here. We did start a little late. We started a little late today. We had
Yeah.
some
Typically,
technical difficulties.
typically we're gonna be starting around 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I just we really appreciate showing up and kind of running through this with us as we kind of figure out where our groove is, and if you have any feedback or something that you would like to watch or just listen or have us dive into, we would love that. So yeah, I mean that's kind of like my only say to this piece of it is just I had fun. I don't know if you did. I went into this. I'm not gonna lie. I went into this a little hesitant. This is my first podcast. I just like typically am not like a real like person facing individual. Makes me uncomfortable, right? But I had fun. I was able to just I don't know just shoot the shit. If you enjoyed it, I would love to hear that. If you would love changes or just like some suggestions on how we could structure, love to hear it. And I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox. Sorry, Ray. Just taking your thunder, B. Yeah, no, I think like going into it, 100%. I was like, maybe I won't. I'll hit my little vapey boy, but as the whiskey be hitting, I was just like, oh no, we gotta pull the old class stick out. So,
You know what is funny? You know what is funny real fast? I think I was on mute that whole time.
you were leaving.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
and people could
no,
hear
no,
me.
no, get over to it. Okay,
Say it, bro. Say it. Sometimes I be fucking up.
okay,
This is the
restart.
first stream, bro. But I
Bro,
do.
I hope that people watch this and they see me and I'm just like nodding and bobbing because I could hear you because we're in the same room and they're just like,
Yeah. They're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about right now?
why is this man just like doing information by himself. But
Yeah, bro.
run through that again.
So yeah, I do generally think I think this is fun. I think being able to have these conversations with people, learn about shit, talk about different things. We initially wanted to start talking about Chernobyl and this crazy shit that was going on there that happened. Um, and we're going to continue to have these conversations about shit. It could be ghost related.
God,
We I do fuck with some scary ghost stories. I'm not gonna. I think those are always fun.
I think that we should also set the expectation right now that we're coming in with a plan. It's probably not going to be followed. I don't know about you, but I think
Sure.
that's something that we should do because, like you were saying,
Yeah.
bro, we came into this. We spent, I would say, copious amounts of hours just researching
Yeah.
Chernobyl and just like conspiracies things and algorithm. But here we are talking about cats, bro.
We're talking about cats. We're talking about pigs. We're
Yep.
talking about
We got
fucking.
Kobo.
And I think this is the fun part about
Yep.
a podcast in general, to be able to talk to you or talk to just about anybody. The cool thing is we can have people also. We can invite people to the show as well, just to shoot the shit and talk to people about things that interest them, about things that are going on in the world, and things that maybe are brushed under the rug, and we're trying to bring attention to them. But I think ghost stories are hella fun too. I think being able to talk about. I've had experiences that may or may not have been ghost related, that I would love to share and talk about. And I think everybody has at least one
Yep.
ghost story that they want to talk about. So I'm excited to continue to do this. We're going to do this on Saturdays, roughly at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, like you said. But again, for anybody who is listening, do not hold us to that time because, as you see, it is now 3:45 p.m. and we ran a little bit late getting everything set up. So we'll be a little bit faster. Caleb, I appreciate the effort in the old fashioned. I think we tried. It didn't work for me.
Nope. I'll run it back. I'll hit the lab because I think they're good. I think you'll like one if I do it correctly. You just gave me a spoon instead of a teaspoon, and
I thought it was.
whatever.
I thought back in the old days, that's what they did. They say, "Here you go. It's a
Um,
teaspoon."
if I may, also, thank you guys so much for watching. And I think that like one thing that would be just absolutely instrumental in the continuation of this podcast, we would love to hear your feedback. How did you like this? What were some of your thoughts? Did we spark some kind of inspiration or thought process in anything that we've covered today? Would you like to hear more about this random rambling, or would you like, sorry, a more topic focus? And so we would love to hear that feedback. I know I would, Ray Ray.
Yeah, absolutely. I
So,
think feedback is key.
mhm,
I like it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We are going to end it today. Here, we want to do typically about an hour. That's about as much time as people are willing to listen to us ramble. So, Caleb, I appreciate your time today. We're going to be back at it, like I said, next Saturday. Talking about, please, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to follow us on YouTube, the Mixtape Effect, and on Twitch, where we are live streaming now. Please feel free to drop us a follow. It means the world to get us up and moving. So, appreciate it. You guys take care, Caleb.
later, friends.
Peace.